Welcome to Around the Metaverse, our weekly show where we bring together some of the best NFT and content creators from the blockchain and gaming community to talk about all the things you guys need to know to stay up to date. Now, it's been a minute. Happy to have you guys back here, man. We got our usual crew here. We got Stache, we got Zuljin, we got Cagy, we got Jake from On-Chain Gaming. Good to see you back here, Cagy, man, after a brief hiatus.
Yep.
Yeah, you were out on us, man. You made us feel like you didn't love us.
Didn't you guys have Panda last week?
Yeah, we did have Panda Pops on here
Panda told me, oh, it was cool, blah, 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 this and that.
I've been harassing her all week ever since.
Wait. She didn't tell you what we were talking about you, did she? Because I know you didn't watch the show.
No. She didn't know, but I can imagine already.
All right, guys. We got a great show for you guys out there, the viewers today. I want to thank you guys for joining us on this Monday. Go ahead and hit that like button before we get into things, and don't forget to smash the subscribe and the bell notification so you guys don't miss out on anything we bring you. We got a pretty good show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about NFT game studios starting to pop up around, NFT focused game studios. A little bit of Solana copy pasta that's kind of happening right now with the Ethereum blockchain. And I'm going to ask you guys a little bit about some of your biggest NFT blunders. So get ready for that. Full disclosure, you're putting it all out there.
What the hell is a blunder?
A blunder?
Mistake.
It's like your biggest,
like you screwed up on something.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not
your biggest fail.
Epic fail.
Jumping right into it, guys. I just wanted to cover a little piece of news that I thought was pretty interesting. I think, or at least I was seeing this on Twitter. The first thing we're talking about here is NFT focused game studios, which I think is going to be a really big deal coming up here, and not like just projects that kind of pop up and disappear after a while. We're talking about full-fledged studios of NFT OGs in the community stepping outside and starting their own companies to kind of embrace our industry. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Treeverse and Loopify, who's been an OG in the community for a long time. He stepped up and is starting an NFT studio called the Mooner Labs. And we also have another pretty cool piece of information. I know you guys know Dr. Disrespect, right?
Oh, hell yeah, that's my boy.
Zuljin, I know you're from the traditional gaming space, man. You're running up after Dr. Disrespect. You're like some direct competition for him.
Well, I don't play shooters, and I think Doc's a personality more than anything. Like, I have a little bit of enthusiasm and stuff, but he has an act. Like, it's a show that he puts on, So I don't know. He would probably need to stay within his own genre at the same time. But if it's competitive at all, Doc can thrive in it.
But yeah, so he's also going to be setting up his own NFT gaming studio and going to be looking to pair with some like major influencers in the space. So we're actually going to be trying to look out and see if maybe we can get in touch with him. So Dr. Disrespect, man, if you're out there watching, reach out to us, man, and we'll give you everything you need to know about the
Around
blockchain
the
gaming
Metaverse
community.
crew for the win.
Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to ask you guys what you think, man. So with all this happening, I kind of have a feeling that the next big conglomerate like gaming studios of the future, because NFT gaming and blockchain gaming is here to stay, and it's the next big thing, I think. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you think that NFT game studios are going to be bigger than the Ubisofts, the Blizzards, the EAs of the future? Stache, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think that we've already seen this kind of happen a couple of times before. You see a small studio like Epic Games come along and they put out a banger, man. They put out something that hasn't been done and kind of pioneers a certain genre that people absolutely just cannot stop playing. And then you see, then obviously after that, there's tons of copycats and everyone like has the same format. And we kind of see that already with NFT games just within our tiny little ecosystem. So I think that it makes sense that one of the current gaming studios, or one that maybe has not even been born yet, really rises out of this NFT gaming kind of specific soup that we're kind of churning here. This like early primordial ooze. Yeah, it's like primordial ooze. There you go. That's what I was going for. It's like and rises to the top because they find like the perfect combination that hits all the buttons. It incorporates the economy in the right type of way, and it has the right type of gameplay. maybe even a brand new style of gameplay that utilizes blockchain technology in a way that we haven't seen. Because right now, what we're seeing mostly from these NFT games is, same kind of format that we've seen in just other games. So they're just taking game styles that you already know, and they're like, oh, we're adding blockchain to it. It's an MMO, but with blockchain and NFTs, or it's whatever. But so I think that's what we're kind of seeing right now, and I think we're going to start to see. I think we will see a studio that come from within our industry, and I don't think it's going to be a big major brand that is going to be the one that breaks out with the big hit.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Well, out of all of the kind of game studios that are out there today, so like Gala Games, Satoshi Games, the Illuvium team, like, what do you think is going to be the next ringer, the one that's going to come up and kind of, give EA Games a run for its money? Cagy, what are your thoughts?
I know. I think this is an opinion, of course, but it's, I think it's going to be Sky Mavis, to be honest. They have the connections, deep connections. They have the numbers. They have the players, right? They only focus on one game, meaning that they're not spreading themselves too thin. So as soon as they make this one successful, they can jump into the next one and kind of allow other games and making sure that all these games are successful. If you see the Epic Games platform, you could say that most of those games are premium games only. Now, that doesn't mean that something like Gala is not going to make it through, right? That's another market. I feel like Gala is in the Steam market, and that's bigger than probably Epic's, right? Gala is more on the, like, let's do whatever the hell, right? People love all types of game, whether it's good, bad, medium, whatever. So I see potential in Gala as well. But I think it's going to be two different kind of models in that sense. So I think Sky Mavis for the premium, right? Just the best play-to-earn economies, meticulously kind of choosing what games to bring in, and then Gala for like the Steam type of feel. So
that makes sense. I could see, I don't really know, man. Who's to say that the NFT game studio that's going to really take us all to the next level has even come out yet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like we've still yet to see kind of, and there are maybe a few contenders for this, right? But I feel like we've yet to see really someone deliver on everything that they've promised, right? Or at least,
Engine is there, to be honest. And I know Jake wants to say a few things here because I'm serious, because I know Jake is in Gala and stuff like that, so, like deep in that. But I've been in Engine for a while, right? So Engine does have really good games, actually. It has Lost Relics. It has Nine Lives Arena. Nine Lives Arena is a premium game.
It's good, man. That's so undervalued, bro. I've been playing that game since the beginning. It's so undervalued.
The thing is that I think what I see in some of these games and the Engine as a whole, first, Lost Relics, very prideful. Like, they have a lot of pride. The developer doesn't want to pivot, doesn't want to make the changes that are needed, right, to keep up with the industry. And then Nine Lives Arena almost has the same feel, right? I talked to the devs. I told them, look, well, how about we expand it? Like, they have such a good model. Let's expand that into an MMO. They have such a good model. You can have like the competitive Nine Lives Arena expanded into an MMO, and they're like, oh, we don't have money. I understand that. But we're in crypto, baby. Let's make some funds,
Make some from out of nowhere. Me? Put a token out or some shit.
And that's where the problem is at. Because it feels, and I don't have that information, I'm just saying, it feels like Engine is in the way in some type of way. But then again, you never see a tweet from Engine kind of really, really supporting these games, right? And it's like, how do you not have money with a multi-million-dollar, company like Engine or, blockchain? Like, there's a disconnect there that I'm not understanding.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So
that's where I'm at.
I agree with what you're saying, Cagy. And I think I like to examine all of this from a fundamental level, like an investor. Like, how do I determine at its core whether or not a game studio has what it takes to make it big in the long term? And I think anytime that you're looking at any studio, it starts at the top, and you have to ask yourself, like, does the person at the top of the studio, the CEO, whoever is running it, have the vision, have the clarity of foresight to be able to take the steps that are necessary, hire the people that are necessary, put the team together that's necessary to make an entire vision come together. Because there's a lot of great games, like you said. Lost Relics, such a cool concept, but if you don't have what it takes to scale, to pivot, to actually grow into something that that could like sustain a huge player base, like it doesn't matter how good your deal is, like you've capped yourself by not having that, I don't know what it is, that CEO spark that's there.
Yeah, so spark,
so like I think that like Dr. Disrespect and stuff, like that's super cool that he's getting into the NFT space. I don't know whether or not he has that CEO capacity to actually put something together, if he has a partner or something that's actually going to be able to make it happen. If he's doing it on his own, like, I don't know. It's yet to be seen. Like, I hope that he's successful. But when I'm looking at all of these blockchain gaming studios, Sky Mavis and Axie Infinity included, and I think who is the most promising leader, it has to be Eric Schurmeyer, who's the CEO of Gala Games. He started MySpace, sold it for a lot of money. MySpace was massive. Then he started Zanga, which had Farmville 2 had like 35 million daily players, like insane. That company is still public. It's worth over $10 billion. So it's like all of a sudden there's a CEO who has like seen the future and started 2 massive viral companies. And now he's coming in here for blockchain. And I'm like, this guy has what it takes to put a team together. So yeah, there's maybe different people on the team that I'm like more stoked work at Gala than other members of the team. But at the top, I trust the CEO is going to be able to execute on the vision. And then you look like the president of mobile from EA left EA Games to join Gala as the president of games. And like you start to have talent like that shifting over to game studios like Gala, and I think it's really bullish for what they're going to be doing long term.
What about the disconnect a little bit with the community, right?
Yeah, so maybe I think that's
what the community wants, right? No?
Yeah, it's some of that, like Axie Infinity, it's a community grown organization, and because of that, it feels so different than Gala, which is coming from the traditional gaming space. It's like how
coming from top down,
communicating with their people. It's like there's going to be pros and cons of the type of game studio that it is. So I think that Axie is like, if they can harness the power of the people, the fact that it's DAO controlled, the fact that they listen to so many different community members, if they can actually harness that and use it to create an incredible product, then their potential is also limitless. But I don't know. I just think there's a lot more risk when there's not somebody at the very top. I know this guy's going to execute on a game plan that is well thought out and sees clearly into what's going to work in the future, like what's going to go big. Yeah,
I agree with you.
For sure. I didn't even know that the head of mobile at EA had moved over to Gala Games.
Yeah, John Oswald is the guy's name.
Yeah, he dumped all the tokens, then he joined.
Just kidding. That's how you do it. Still the top. Well, I was thinking, man. Zuljin, you've been quiet, man. I need to hear from you, bro.
So I agree with what Dom said. I don't think it's going to be any contenders in the field. I think somebody's going to come along with a concept like Minecraft that's going to have tokenomics involved in it in a very simple but approachable manner, with something that's easily accessible to UIs. They're going to market it very, very shortly, and it's going to go viral, and it's going to go insane, and it's going to work. I think a big problem with gaming in general and its popularity on blockchain is just the ability for people to access it that aren't exposed to crypto. It's becoming more and more evident the more and more videos I put out. I think of myself as a content creator, and I get on this idea and I automatically assume that some people that I've already watched other videos are going to watch new videos, and they're kind of with me so far. And that is not the case.
Not the case.
A tutorial about how to install MetaMask every damn video, or you're going to lose people. It's that kind of adoption barrier that I think that is going to stop any game studio.
I have my thoughts about this, and I know Jake is very like, bro, we need email password, right?
And interoperability as well.
Yeah, that's what Gala's doing.
All the different token worlds, all the different blockchains. It's very, very hard to navigate that.
You sign up email password on Gala, and they have a wallet integrated into your account, and you can export it to MetaMask if you want. It's like, that is what you need for mass adoption. People just sign up with email password like a normal game account, and they already have a wallet there, and they can like choose to download their their key phrase from there. Once they actually get into it, they can choose to export that wallet to MetaMask to access all of Web3. But it's like very simple from the very beginning. But what you're saying, Zuljin, about like every video you needing to re-explain stuff, it's so hard. And I've been wrestling with this a ton because there is like that first set of viewers that is coming from like notifications, from your subscriptions, but it's a very small percentage compared to the total viewership that the video is going to get over like a month or 2 months. So it's really hard for me to think like, do I want to bore my current subscribers or make sure everyone else gets on board? And it's like, yeah, I haven't found a good balance.
It is a balance.
Let me jump in real quick into the signing in. I think we haven't seen the full scope of blockchain. That's the thing. Like you're thinking about sign in, wallet inside. I don't even think that's a future, honestly. You create a wallet, you learn how to create a wallet. Everybody does, right? And inside that wallet, you could have multiple information. You could have you could have email, right, within the same wallet. You could have your address if you want. You could even have a credit card in there, right? And you allow whatever app you're interacting with as Web3 to tap into that. That's how I see it.
Stache is probably going to comment on this, but Wax did a very, very good job with this entire thing by being able to click a Google button and be signed in. Just because you don't have your private keys doesn't mean you can't manage that once you graduate to a level that's okay. Just like increasing your risk tolerance. If you get something that is easy to access and that has interoperability, like you said, Cagy, the fact that you could just go in and it creates your wallet for you and does all of that business without having to well, where am I going to write this down? And you got things that scare you, like, don't lose this, write it down on a piece of paper, put it in a fireproof safe, tell your mom to hide it somewhere. Like, wait, I'm just trying to play a game here, you know?
It's true. No, and you know, that's a great point, man. I was going to jump in there with that. So there are some chains and some games that are doing a really good job. So I will put a focus first on Wax. You know, they have their Wax Cloud wallet, which is, I hate it. It's a social logon, but it does exactly what you're saying we need, whether you like it or not. Like it does exactly what we need. I want to
provide the information whenever I need it. Whenever I need to send an email. Yeah, I'll give you the access for you to send me customer support.
Now, and so what I'm saying is that's still the inklings of where we need to go in the direction and how easy it needs to be. Now, there does need to be like more private key support there. So if you want to be able to take over your private keys, you can. But in general, it works really great. It's fast. It's efficient. It does the job and allows you to access all the things you need to access without having to be super knee deep into blockchain technology. But someone over in YouTube was saying, there's 10-year-olds and 13-year-olds that are figuring this shit out, man. The younger generation gets it pretty quickly. Yeah. Now, when you look at that happening in actual games, you're right. There's not as many. Like, you have to go through these complex. You got to have MetaMask. You got to have a specific wallet just for that game, like you do with Axie and some of these other ones. We're like, we have our own wallet, and you got to know all these things, and then transfer it between all this shit, and it becomes kind of a burden. Now you look at a game like Blankos, and they have a really good mixture of those things, right? So they have obfuscated the entire blockchain, elements of this. It's all in the background.
So far, I don't know how to check my Blankos on the blockchain. Are they even on the blockchain?
Yeah, so they're on EOS, and that's what I'm saying. So you're right. So they've obfuscated and they've gone the other direction where you see almost nothing there. And for us hardcore people that want a little bit more reassurance to know that's the case, it is not the easiest thing to then go check and validate it against a block explorer and whatnot and what it may be. And
I think that's huge. I think that's so important.
Well, it's important to us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's important to us. Most people don't give a shit, and most people that are going to use these things. Hold on. Most people that are going to use these things don't care either. You use a TV every day. You use your computer every day. You use all these objects, and you have no freaking idea how those things work.
People are going to care when they actually start selling NFTs and stuff for money. They're going to be like, how do I see this NFT and how much it's worth? And like, people want to know that. And then also
they have that data
like
there.
Us to promote Blankos, then we need to be confident in what we're promoting. And like, if we can't see it, like, I love that you don't have to see it. I think that's great, but there has to be the optionality to see it if you want.
Yeah, and you have to be able to hold them accountable. That's
right. So what I'm saying though is that what I'm saying though is that I would almost like the way you see development working like this, and the way that we're kind of testing the industry and testing what best works. I think that they were genius to go in the direction of starting the way they did, of obfuscating it completely, and then like sprinkling in more and more of the blockchain type of backend that you can actually see, because they didn't launch with the marketplace in the beginning. There was no way to trade these back and forth. It was literally like you own them, and you had to kind of like, all right, well, eventually they're going to have it, and now they have a great marketplace. There's lots of volume going on there. Right. Yeah, the marketplace it works great, and so they're kind of stepping those in as people get more and more comfortable with the game, as there's more people playing and using the game and wanting to trade.
I love all the information you have to give them.
Right.
Too.
Yeah. Well, and you do. Yeah. You're for sure KYC, man. You're for sure KYC'd on that, dude.
That's the thing. These people are like, they're scared, man. They're scared. They're not really with the ethos. They're not really with it.
Well,
right?
it's hard to be.
They're scared.
It's hard when you're a U.S. company, man. When you're a U.S. based company, it's really hard.
I'm not saying I don't understand them, but you can get around that. You can.
You can,
not forever.
It's true.
No, but if you really wanted to get around it, you can move out of the U.S. You have the money, right? They come.
But then you gotta get rid of U.S. players.
You're not
man.
with the crypto ethos. Yeah. You don't give a damn about this shit.
It's not going to be that way forever, man.
It's not.
It's not going to be that way forever.
I think you guys are wrong. I think you guys are wrong. You know what's going to happen? It's like imagine they take down Uniswap. You know what you do? Literally, anonymous Andy comes out of nowhere, copies the code, and creates another one. And it's just gonna be like that. It's just gonna pop out everywhere.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
that works for an exchange.
You can't take it out.
But see so you can't do that with games. That works for an exchange or for some tool that you can use in a decentralized manner. But for a game that you create community around that needs direction, like that's not really
going to be hard for an exchange.
You're right,
remember, you need liquidity pools set up. Like just the code by itself, if there's no liquidity, like no one's going to be able to trade anything. So then people are going to need to start staking it. And if the last one just got taken down, people are going to be really scared to stake the new one. So there is a real regulatory threat from this that we do need to be wary of. Now, if the US actually cracks down, though, like the US is going to lose, not crypto, because I'm going to be leaving the country. And like
we're all going to leave, man. We're like, I'm out. That's it. I'm done. Let's go.
It's like
we're all going to Puerto Rico, guys. Let's go.
Right now.
They're going to cut us off from the future. Like,
we're all going to El Salvador.
Cut us off from the future. We're not going to stay in this country. It's like
El Salvador could become one of the richest countries in the world, and people are just like, oh, Bitcoin, blah blah blah. Yo, they can literally just become a powerhouse, a country of 1 million people or 1.5 or some shit like that.
And that's a good point.
A powerhouse in the world.
So now that's a good point, guys. Now, what do you think about this? As like you said, so do we see then a lot of gaming studios popping up in places that are crypto friendly and wanting to use those as their home base, and you see millions of dollars, because gaming is one of the largest industries out there. I mean, it is churning billions and billions of dollars a year. It's beating out all sports combined. It's beating out movies. I mean, it's amazing. And so, like, you think about those billions of dollars leaving the U.S. and kind of being headquartered here. Do we see them exodusing and going to other places? Really?
Does that stifle it, though? Because if it's crypto-based and there's no U.S. market for it, how does that stifle it? So you can't market it to China. You can't market it to U.S. Who's left? Like, what's their population of game? What's their demographic like? What are we appealing to? If you start getting those type of restrictions, why wouldn't you just create a conventional game? Why wouldn't you just make another World of Warcraft without tokenomics and all this stuff? And you already have massive adoption in marketing. You can even market it as an anti-crypto.
It's such a simple game and it has 1.5 million monthly players. Like an MMO launches on the blockchain where people can actually earn real money and like profit off of it. Like this thing is gonna go massive.
The gamers demand it.
Parabolic.
If it's good,
be like 50 million monthly players, and then no one's gonna want to work on a non-blockchain game again after that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the people demand it too. You really start to think like once you as a gamer, like I've been a lifelong gamer, man. Once you get a taste of that play to earn element and empty, I'm never fucking going back. I'm never. Give me the juice, bro. Give me the juice.
I've been on Steam for a month. People are asking me like, "You saw this on Steam?" I was like,
"What Steam? I forgot.
Yeah, I haven't been on Steam."
Now
it's installed.
No, wait, Cagy, what's the saying?
No NFT, no play, baby. No NFT, no play.
That's right.
I stand by that. I've been playing a few that are not NFT yet, like Star Citizen. But I wanted to get kind of a perspective of because what Star Atlas could be.
Yeah.
What are the mistakes that these people made, right?
Yeah.
So it's more like research type of thing. And then I also play Theta Arena, which is a new MOBA like Brawl Stars. They have like a previous game, right? That is on the App Store. And I wanted to see, because it's exactly the same. They're just taking that game, they're maybe changing a few things, and they're putting play to earn on top of it. Now, I am not against that idea. I think that idea, by the way, we can go into that topic if you guys want. I think it's the next thing. Before any blockchain game, native blockchain game blows up, I think we're going to see an already made game with play to earn and NFTs integrated. So and if one of those models work, this is going to take off even faster than I thought.
Probably going to be your favorite. It's probably going to be your favorite archetype of game too, Cagy. It's probably going to be a card game. Integration is just so easy, man. It just seems like it's a no-brainer, right?
It is easier to do.
It really is, bro. It really is.
Could you guys see something like this happening where, say, like the Play Store or Steam or something like that comes out with some kind of like umbrella play to earn model within their ecosystems? You know what I mean? Like,
Steam has that kind of already.
And start releasing rewards that was attached to what they currently have now, which are just like cards that you get from achievements.
They already have that.
If those would become NFTs with a blockchain that's easy to approach, something like Wax with low cost, I would probably reckon to say that market cap would rise exponentially, really, really quick.
Because it would be easy. It would be super easy to enable play to earn on an ecosystem like that if you centralized it from the top down. Even
it's reward points, right? You just tokenize it and put liquidity behind it. It's essentially the same thing. And any sort of asset or achievement, you tokenize that, turn it into an NFT, and it just becomes blockchain.
It'll happen, but it's not. They're not going to be the first movers, man. It's always the big guys with all the there's so much red tape there and bureaucracy. It's so much harder to do it than.
There's also no reason to do it. They're already
incentive.
They're already crushing the hell out of it. Right, exactly. So it's only at a point where they are being forced to by the players, and they're starting to lose money, or not lose money, but just not make as much money. Then that's what will become an issue.
Yeah,
I think the problem.
Be a lateral move.
It's very sad to me to see something like Fortnite that came out today, season 8 or whatever the fuck, right? It's very sad to me. I knew Fortnite the first year I played it. I knew it was a classic right away. Like I looked at the game, I was like, this shit is a classic. This is a game that you would play 20 years later just to mess around. Like, oh, let me hop into Fortnite. Now, what's really unfortunate is that if Fortnite does not shift, and I think they'll never do it, but if they don't shift into a NFT kind of, skin market, what's going to happen is that in the future, you're not going to be able to have the same feeling as Pokemon. Like, holy shit, I have the skin, bro. Let's trade it. From like season 1, 2017, like you're not going to have that feeling and that re-spark of the game. And that's really sad. That's
nostalgia.
Really sad. Yeah, that nostalgic market.
They move on to,
and they could be making money all this 20 years from that one skin from 2017.
Yeah, resale.
Yeah, it's true. They do move on to a lot of stuff, though. Even in traditional retail and marketing, a lot of people focus a bunch of marketing budget and energy on new customers and not existing customers.
Yeah,
they could just move on to the next shiny thing and just go for it there. Like in Fortnite, for instance, they used to have a game. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Epic had a MOBA before they had Fortnite. That was awesome. I loved it. But it died. It died.
Are you talking about the zombie one?
I forget what it was. It was kind of like a 3D deal, but it's when League of Legends was really at its peak. They had, I forget the name of it, but it was a wonderful game. We were playing it at the time. And then all of a sudden it kind of started changing, and then they tried to monetize some stuff, and it kind of just got phased out. And that's because Fortnite was becoming the new thing, and effort was just, they were just pouring their efforts into the new thing, so to speak. I think if they come up with another viral sensation that they can market the same way, why worry about existing customers when you could just sell them new assets?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But existing customers actually provide something very, very valuable. And it's the fact that you don't have to take care of them that much, right? Because they're trading, they're entertaining themselves, right? You don't have to put so much effort. Yeah. You know how much effort Epic puts into skins every single week, new content, right? When all that content, part of that effort that they use for skins and the marketplace and all that could be put into the game, and actual concerns about the actual gameplay. I don't know. I think there's wins there if you
as long as you can monetize whatever you have, as long as it's I guess it depends. We'd probably have to look at some statistics, new customers versus existing or whatever. But on blockchain, it makes sense, right? Because you get residuals from NFTs. So, they'll just trade. Once you sell one, you get residual from every time it passes back and forth. But it's a little bit different if you market.
I think a lot of these games won't switch over to NFTs until people start deciding they're not going to buy items that aren't NFTs. And who knows how long that's going to be? Maybe that's 4 years from now. Maybe it's 8 years from now. Who knows how long it will take the general population to realize, hey, these games not on the blockchain are ripping me off because they're not actually selling me anything. And if I buy a similar thing on the blockchain, I still have that value. I can keep it. I can still use it, and I can sell it afterwards. And it's once people realize that tectonic shift from not owning to actually owning, it's people aren't going to go back.
Something that we haven't
how
seen
long is
yet.
it going to take? How long is it going to take? Because until people decide they're not buying these items that aren't NFTs, companies are not going to shift.
Yeah.
And all the value that you put into that character too. Okay, I did season 1 of Fortnite or season 8 now, right? And I upgraded my skin. All the upgrades. Imagine me selling all that sweat that I put in to upgrade that skin. Imagine me passing it on to another player, just like CryptoStache or whatever, right? That's an idea there. Of something that could work, and it will work. All the effort that you put into your character, that has value. That's time that you put in. Not only the looks, but also the effort that the player put in behind it. And if it's somebody famous, I think we talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine a Shroud or Ninja selling one of those skins. Yo, that was Ninja that grinded that skin. That's now
and
I
you
own
can
it,
prove it because it's on the blockchain. It was attached to his account or his wallet. That's always been a big thing too. Yeah,
and you have commercial
NFTs.
rights to it. You can also create an entire merch line if you wanted to. If it really
depends on the
Depends on the
NFT. But yeah.
I mean, we're going to see a lot of crazy things happen, man. I can't really imagine what the NFT space is going to look like, or who's going to kind of emerge victorious, I guess you could say. But let's move on to our next topic here, man. I want to get you guys' thoughts on some kind of controversial things that have been going down on Solana and in the Twitterverse, I guess you could say.
I'm out.
Hey man, I don't know if you guys are seeing the drama going on right now, or if any of you guys are maybe ape holders yourselves, but Solana has a ton of copy pasta going on right now, man.
I love it.
Bored Ape Yacht Club, it's terrible, dude.
And so literally, if for you guys viewers out there, if you guys aren't privy to this on Twitter, man, there's been a shitstorm, I guess you could say, of drama going on between Solana and Ethereum maxis, talking about 2 NFT projects where essentially Solon apes came out, literally ripped off, copy pasted the Bored Ape Yacht Club ape into their new NFT project, and was like, we're the apes of Solana.
Extracted the JPEG and uploaded it to their shit.
And not only that, but once they got called out on their shenanigans, man, they folded on themselves, doubled back, and even honestly took a step even further in the wrong direction. They
just keep digging this hole, guys. Hold on.
Yeah. I want to tap into that, but maybe Stache wants to tap into this first because I talked a lot. So,
all right. So this is something that we've seen before already. If you guys were around when Binance Smart Chain really launched and started doing things, the exact same shit happened with BSC, man. Right when BSC came out with NFT functionality, we saw Binance punks come out, and they were a literal one-to-one copy of crypto punks. They took the same art, and they just stuck it on Binance Smart Chain, and it was even easier to do because it's Ethereum EVM compatible.
Yeah.
So it was just it's like, hey, we're Binance punks, and then a bunch of projects came out right in the beginning of BSC NFTs that really did this. And so I'm not at all surprised to see it happening on Solana, because these are people who are just going for cash grabs. They see that it's hot, that people are talking about, the token price is going up. It was the same thing was happening with BNB. BNB was going up crazy. Binance Smart Chain launched, everyone was talking about it, and then you saw all these people that were just straight, literally ripping things. Not just like inspired by and like, oh, it's a punks project, but with different art, but the same style. Literally the exact same JPEGs, and I'm not surprised to see it on Solana. Disappointed. Sad. I even posted about this the other day too. I was like, hey, please, Solana community, can we not have the same crap that we already have on Ethereum? Can you do something original and different, not do the same project?
But people doing it on both.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, man. I kind of like it. I wouldn't buy it because of my values, right? I wouldn't buy it. I think it's shitty. It's like me buying Monster Infinite. Anyways, anybody buying Monster Infinite, you're buying some crap, okay? That's just copy pasta. Anyways, going back to this, one of the things that I like about this, about Solana versus ETH, there's more to it, right? I feel like there's more to it. It's more like the Solana network saying, fuck you, ETH maxis, because ETH maxis are fucking annoying. Let me tell you the truth. They're annoying as fuck. They're annoying, super annoying. I mean, how can you be a maxi? The first thing is that you came into the blockchain because you opened your mind into a new world, and now all of a sudden you're in ETH and you close your mind. Nah, fuck that. It's like now, Solana people are like, hey, what's up? We could do the same. You see, you're not that important, right? So I like that idea behind that. I wouldn't buy it though. I think it's kind of trashy, but I think it serves a purpose as well, right? So that's how I see it.
Copyright infringement sucks. Period.
I don't think it's like a dig into the Ethereum maxis. But I'm sorry, what were you saying, Zuljin?
No, I just think in general it's copyright. It doesn't matter what blockchain does it or how well they could do it. Solana's big selling point right now are transaction maximum capacity and gas fees. But which are a big deal. You already have a superior technology, so to speak. Well, why rip? Why come up with something original?
It's not Solana doing this. It's users doing it.
Exactly.
You have a
so it's not a bad thing on Solana. It's the people that already have that. You have the capability, though. It's you just got a fast car gifted to you. Freaking use it, man.
But what do? We take them down? Then now you're infringing on the idea of this. Like, people do whatever they want. What it comes down to the people that buy. I wouldn't buy that shit. I would never put that in my wallet. So that's it. Like, let people. At the end of the day, if you really, really think about this, it's not gonna make it. That's the truth. It's not gonna make it long term.
No, those projects they're cash grabs, man. I mean, and you're right. So I mean, that's the point. Is that this is not Solana doing it. It's just people who can use a blockchain and doing it. And so I agree with Cagy on that point. Is that I still want there to be the ability to do this. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's cool. I don't buy into it. I feel bad for the people who do. But I feel like it's important that we do have that ability and that we can demonstrate that. But it does. I think it cheapens the whole.
And it's good to have the conversation too, right? The community come together, and be like, "Yo, that's a scam. That's perfect. That's perfect." Mm-hmm. I think it's the same thing with SLP and the scholarships. Like, I don't care if somebody is paying less to somebody else, not because I don't care about that person, not because it's because I believe in free markets, right? If you want to pay somebody less and they're accepting that, then go ahead. Now, from my side, I'll tell people, hey, I think you shouldn't take less than this percentage, right? If you're not getting paid this percentage, then I think you shouldn't. But that's it. But I'm not going to go police people now. Like, all right, you should be giving this percentage. Fuck that. No.
So Cagy, let me ask you this, man. If we see Solaxis come out or something like that on the Solana blockchain. Solaxi or something like that. Solaxi Infinity.
I'll call him out.
Solaxi Infinity.
What? So yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna tell him that Cagy is the head of the project. I'm gonna go around tweeting it. Cagy put out this new Solaxis. It's his project, guys. Just so you know.
But you got Monster Infinite. Just look at Monster Infinite. Copy pasta. Actually,
I mean,
same website.
I think the point of all of this is actually 2 points. One that I want to make first, just about Ethereum versus Solana and stuff.
But
the world is big enough for more than one smart money. And there is so much market cap growth, I think, for Ethereum left and for Solana left and for any chain that can successfully do this and gets developers and good projects built. They are all going to be growing, and there's really no reason for that conflict. I think support Solana, support Ethereum, support the good projects on both of these chains, and support what all of this is about, which is player ownership and giving power back to the people. Now,
that's right.
Well said, bro.
The second thing is that we have to be very wary right now because these cash grabs are happening, and like so many people have been sending me these games that are popping up on Solana where like it's just a website thrown together. It's like anonymous dev teams that just have like some pictures and only first names, and it's like we're gonna do an NFT sale, then we're gonna do our coin sale, and then in Q4 we're gonna explain like our game roadmap and what our game
roadmap. Yeah, the roadmap is the roadmap.
The roadmap to getting a roadmap. The roadmap of the roadmap, bro. Like it's like the announcement of the announcement.
Can I ask you guys' opinion on something real quick? Does Docs devs, with all of the deep fake nonsense and being able to engineer accounts and anonymity and stuff, does Docs devs really make a difference? Like what I'm saying is, let's say there's an elaborate project, okay? It's a game, it's good marketing, a high quality website, fundamentals, community, all this stuff put together. But there's anonymous devs. Am I the only one that just doesn't give a damn about that because I know it can just be engineered? It's as easy nowadays as Twitter followers. Like, why are people so convinced that a first and a last name make a damn? It doesn't. Like, well,
it's what they've done in the past. And it's like who the developers are speaks to the potential of the project until there's actually gameplay. Like, once there's gameplay or once the project actually has things to show for itself, then the project does speak for itself. And at that point, the developer team doesn't matter as much. But like something to show for it, who the team is and what they've accomplished in the past is everything.
But it's important,
like a PFP project, for instance. No, it's just an artist. It's an artist and somebody that writes code.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it's Jim Jones or Sonny 517.
Jim Jones.
I think the content creators have a job to do too, because, for example, GFC. Galaxy Fight Club, which I got in at the beginning. I got so much heat about that. Oh, scam, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you did it too. I got so much heat about that. But I talked to the developers behind the doors, right? I went into a conversation with them. And one of them is a manager in TikTok. The other one has worked in Ubisoft or something like that. There's a few that have background, and they told me why they don't want to put their name out there. Because these companies, they will cut you off, and they still have their regular job. If they see that they're anti-crypto, anti-NFTs, and some of them are actually creating NFT projects too on the low. So even if they find out, they could get cut off, and these are good jobs that they have, right?
Right.
So there's that too. So we have to talk to them. We have to talk to them and start getting a feel for this. For this, and you can make a mistake. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen a mistake yet, but we could find out in a couple months.
I've done some stuff before too, but everybody has their own. It's kind of like risk tolerance, right? Like, what's really important to you?
Yeah.
I think that's big.
You're right. Risk tolerance is a big part of it, obviously, but I think that there's a big dividing line between games and NFT projects.
That's
for these generative NFT projects or art project focused things. I mean, a Docs team maybe not the biggest thing because they're not going to have any history doing jack shit either, anyways.
You don't really expect them to do anything after they sell you the NFT either. So it's like,
right, exactly.
I don't care about you,
and that's how it goes a lot of times too. So but when it comes to games, I think that there is more of a reason to have well-known developers because it's a lot bigger of an undertaking. So when you're selling somebody NFTs for something like that, there's much more behind the scenes they have to do. So to have more confidence, I think it makes sense. Now, when I see Docs team members from just a regular NFT project, that allows me to create more community with those people and to know that they're in this for the long term because they're willing to put their actual name on the line for the success of that project. If you're not willing to do that for your project, then that means, I'm not saying that means you're going to rug pull or you're going to scam or anything. I'm all for anonymity,
right.
But you got to understand that someone could easily burn that alias and be gone and do the next project. They could have 10 of them and have 10 different Discord accounts and be doing 10 different PFP projects.
I think it's actually
common, which I think is actually much more common than we know. That there's people running these rings of these projects right now, and they're doing more, and they have no intention of keeping any of these up or keeping any of the communities going on in the long term. And so that would be one of those reasons why you would want to make sure that these are reputable people behind these projects.
Sure. Yeah. In games too, it matters somewhat, I guess. But look at Notch from Minecraft. Like, he didn't have a real stellar
Yeah,
record
but the
before
game
he
spoke for
created.
itself after the game
It's
was
true.
created. And that's
It's
the thing.
true.
Like, the team matters until there's a game, and like
He also
then the
didn't
team
raise a
only
shit
matters
ton
to
of
the
money
point that
either.
they have to like
No,
keep upkeeping.
no,
it.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
The game just sold a lot of copies, and I think you're right on that.
Well, I think we're also discounting a little bit the importance that DAOs are going to bring into the mix here too coming up. Because I mean, the founding of a game matters, right? Too. But imagine that, say something does die off, and then there's a DAO that gets made where the community is more passionate about it than the developers, right? And maybe they bootstrap the game. You know, I could.
That's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah.
I can see that happening with things like, I don't know, CryptoKitties, right? People are like forgetting about that one, but I think in a couple of years, people are gonna go back and say, "Yo, CryptoKitties was one of the first blockchain games. Blah 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 blah. Let's put a community together. Let's make a game, 3D world." I think it will happen, and somebody's gonna monetize hard on that nostalgia and the fact that, you know, the assets are there, right? You know.
The Ether Rocks Metaverse coming 2024, guys. The Ether Rocks Metaverse. You can play as you could go around. We're gonna generate a big cave for all the rocks. It's gonna be a social club where you and your rock buddies can.
No, stop now. Stop now. We
No,
gotta move on.
no.
We gotta move on now. We gotta move on. I don't even want to think about that.
Wait. GFC, Galaxy Fight Club, right? They're integrating already cybercongs, right, into their game. Collaboration. BYO Pills. What's the other one? Animetas. They're integrating also Loot Project, which for me was bullshit. A bullshit project. It blew up, but then I am seeing the value. They're actually taking one of these assets and they're putting it into the game. They don't have to ask anybody. So the rocks can happen the same thing. They can literally use that as a weapon in the game. Maybe a character throwing rocks. So if you have that rock in your wallet, now that is a weapon within the game. So I think there's so many variables that could happen in NFT gaming, bro.
I just want someone to integrate the rock, and it's like, if you have it in your inventory, you're heavier and walk slower.
That could
Or
happen.
slingshot ammo, you could burn it to do 1 billion damage.
Yeah.
Can you imagine shooting an Ether Rock out of a slingshot?
One use, $1 million, all in one. All right. We got one last topic to cover, guys. We're running a little thin on time here, so it's going to be a bit of a lightning round. But I want to ask you guys a little bit about some of your biggest NFT blunders. And so basically anything that, you know, you bought, and maybe specifically a game, but maybe not. Basically an NFT you bought that you thought was going to kind of moon, and now you're, you know, sitting on a fat loss. And what you would do next time to avoid a situation like that for our viewers out there who are new. Let me start with you, Zuljin.
I bought Alcabones. I missed pre-sale on it, and I ended up buying because of the volume and because of a lot of other things. There was all those things that we talked about that were kind of questionable. I followed all those rules. I did my due diligence, and the project looked solid. There was enough trading on their unrevealed project to make me very, very excited about it. And I was pretty darn bullish on it, to tell you the truth. So I bought one for 0.4 and 0.6. And come time at the release, and this was the two most expensive NFTs I've ever bought, by the way, up until that point. I ended up on secondary market. So I ended up at launch, they botched it. Something happened with the code and the distribution, all kind of stuff. So what ended up happening was they told everybody that they had to do some sort of verification to flip it to another, like a conversion or something like that. So everybody ended up having to pay gas again. Everybody ended up having to go to another OpenSea to sell theirs. And it wasn't even a verified OpenSea account. It was called like Alcabones 2 or something it was very poorly executed, how the devs handled it. And they didn't communicate well when this was happening. So I decided to just take my loss and sold them for both 0.3 before they tanked. And they tanked a lot further than they did.
And mass confusion like that, man, is how you get scammed in the mix of it, you know?
Yep.
So stuff like that's what you want to avoid, man.
I was always taught never to sell at a loss, but it's important to be able to realize that that's a skill when you know that your money could be used somewhere else. Yeah. Sometimes you shouldn't hang on to a sinking ship. So,
Cagy, what about you, man? What's your biggest NFT loss?
I honestly don't have one yet, to be honest.
No? Bullshit.
I don't because they haven't come to fruition. I could say 9 Lives Arena, but can I really say that right now? would that be fair to them? Could I say Nest tables, right? Is that fair to them? Lost relics, is that fair to them? Right? That's not fair yet.
You didn't lose on
fair.
Lost Relics though. You won on Lost.
No. But I have bought assets. The first couple assets I bought, right? Those like 100x basically.
Yeah.
I bought at $10, whatever. But then the second set of assets, I bought some at 8,000, 5,000, 10,000, right? Can I say it really failed already? I'm not sure. Maybe I could say that. Yeah, Lost Relics, Nine Lives Arena, right? But I don't consider them a failure yet.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very careful. I really am. And if there's something that I don't really like that much, like I'll give you something like an NFT, Slacker Dog Pun. I bought 3 of these, right? But they just integrated into a new game, right? Those Slacker dogs integrated. And if they keep integrating into new games, right, and making collaborations, it could take off. So how to what point do I say it's a failure? I still have not seen something that is an absolute failure. I'm like, fuck, I just put 10 ETH and that's never going to come back, right? Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Hey, man, you're doing better than a lot of people then in that case.
I'm careful. You can see my wallet. I mean, I have it all there. I have 2 wallets that I use publicly, and those are the ones that I mean.
Cagy's doxed his wallet for you guys. Check the description. It's down there.
I mean, you gotta see my NFT. You gotta see my NFTs, right?
He's been playing this whole time. He owns 2 NFTs. That's it. This whole time he's been playing.
What about you, Jake? What's your biggest NFT flop?
Well, I'm kind of like Cagy in the sense that I don't think there's been any flops yet because, like, to be completely honest, I bought one piece of art that's not connected to a game at all. That's the only art NFT I've ever purchased, and it's the background of On-Chain Gaming. It's also what we use in our intro, and it came with a commercial license for 10 years to be able to use the art. So I bought it because of the utility that it had. And even if I can't sell it for the 1/8 that I purchased it for, it's providing value to our channel for the next decade. And I think that it's going to be worthwhile. Beyond that, how much did I buy that for? Literally 1/8 for it.
Yeah, that's not that's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I would like that's worth it just for the commercial contract, even if I can never resell the NFT itself.
And you're adding value to it, maybe even, you know what I mean? The next person who's gonna want that NFT is gonna watch
Jake from On-Chain Gaming. Oh my god.
We'll see.
So yeah, so dreamy.
two
of us in here have never had any L's, I guess. Apparently, not a single.
No, I'm gonna get into an L though. This is like no. This is an L in my mind. So one of the NFTs I bought, honestly, the most expensive one I ever bought, which is the Town of the Duke for Mirandus, which is a $100,000 NFT. I bought it in Gala, and when I paid for it, Gala was a lot cheaper than it is now. So I actually paid 5.6 million Gala, which at the time was worth $100,000, to purchase this Town of the Duke, and that Gala is now worth $267,000. So the Town of the Duke has not yet appreciated as much as Galacoin has appreciated. So if you're thinking short term, then it's definitely a loss. Like I could have just held the other asset and I would be up more than I am with the Duke. But I'm still very confident, or at least hopeful with strong conviction.
No wonder you're so bullish on Gala, bro.
$500,000 to $1 million.
Chill.
I support you. Now I know that you are like actually bullish. Like you're not bullshitting, right? Like
I am actually
put your money where your mouth is.
You have a lot of things in Gala, so that
I do.
You have a high conviction. So I am gonna support you. I have Gala too. You know I have, but you have way more than me. So I'm gonna support. Hey guys, check out Gala. No, for real, because you did give us good information today about the founder, about things that I didn't necessarily even have in my back pocket, right? So.
Yeah.
No, I'm positive on them, but for now, like I don't know. That's the hard thing about crypto is something else always goes up more than what you own.
The next shiny thing, man. The next shiny thing.
Zoo.
Stache, what about you, man? What's? I mean, I think we know what you've been very public about. Probably your biggest L.
You've told this story before.
But what's your second biggest L? Because
Bitcoin.
I'm a freaking dude. Compared to you guys, I am a 100% DJ, and I did not consider myself that level of degen, to be perfectly honest at this point. But compared to you guys, apparently I am. Yeah,
you're responsible nowadays. You made a lot of mistakes, but now you're pretty safe, I would think. I look at you as a very, very sharp guy in the industry.
I mean, yeah, you know, no matter how sharp you are, you if you have a higher risk tolerance, which I feel like mine can be kind of a little higher risk tolerance at times. You take risks, and then sometimes you win, sometimes you really big, and sometimes you don't. So yeah, I mean, like I have told a story before, but like I bought a Grimes NFT from the singer off of Nifty Gateway, and I mean it's tanked in value like 80-something%. And I actually ended up buying two of them, one on accident. It was a total accident. So I got stuck with two of these things. It was like $15,000 worth of NFTs that just like completely tanked. And I'm like, that was my first and last time buying a celebrity NFT. So when you talk about like, kind of horror stories and what to stay away from, be very careful about things like that. And yeah, it's one of those lessons I learned, but a big one, and in a big way, is that, these people aren't in it for the long term, man. They're not in it to really get going. So, but if you want to talk about my second biggest loss, and this is kind of a weird way of going about this and considering this a loss, but it's something that I'm going to use to also plug my upcoming NFT collection. But I've been working on a Secret Agent Stache NFT game and collection for like the last 8 months, and so the idea was this game was supposed to come out in like June-ish or end of June, beginning of July. And then it like one thing or another, it kept getting delayed. Like my artist got COVID, so it got delayed a month, and then another thing delayed it, and then the development team delayed, and so it got delayed, and before we could, and it's getting ready to come out here on September 23rd, finally. But
is it a card game?
It's an interactive live stream game. So you use NFTs to interact with me live while I'm on stream on every Thursday. Cool. And it gets me to do things. So different things for the game. I switch games, or maybe it's or I do things like play blindfold for 10 seconds, or change into a new disguise, which is most of the cards. They get me to change to different disguises because I'm a secret agent.
Invert the computer screen, play like that.
Yeah,
for 10 minutes.
So there's some crazy cards like that help us. But hold on, here's where the loss came. So in the interim, while I was waiting to get this done, wax went up by like almost two fold. So it like doubled or almost tripled.
Almost tripled.
So if I had put out those NFTs when they were supposed to be put out in like June-ish, July or beginning of July, the sales from this would have made me way more, because the price of them would have been $10 worth of wax, which would have been 300 wax versus now it'll be 150 wax or 100 per pack. So that's actually a pretty big loss when you talk about how much time I've spent on this, how much money I've already invested into the collection, into the development of it, and getting all the different parts together. So that was probably, I would say, is a pretty big loss. So that's but a different one than most people would consider a loss.
I think we all have at least some minor L's in the history books, and the beauty of crypto, man, is that you can have a few L's in your book as long as you get a big enough W to make up for it. And most of the time, most of the time, I think we find a pretty big W here in crypto by taking those L's and learning which paths to go down and find. Yeah. And that's the beauty of this industry, man. Is there's always more to come, and there's never not going to be an opportunity for you guys.
Do we have to go? Can we just talk about Star Atlas real quick? I just bought a $30,000. I might just.
Oh yeah.
I think we do
about that, Cagy.
You gotta save it for next time. You gotta save it for next time, so we can tease them. We can tease them like, hey, next time we're gonna talk about the largest assets that we own that are on the blockchain.
Oh, we can talk about that's cool, man.
But yeah, stay tuned for next time, you guys watching, where we'll talk about the largest NFT assets we own. Cagy will give you guys a full breakdown of all of the all of the Star Atlas ships he owns, and we'll dig into everything you guys need to know. We'll pump all of your bags, you guys viewers watching. So let us know.
And if you like if you like the video, that helps pump your bags too. That's a common phrase from Ivan on Tech. If you like the video, you pump your bags. Help pump your bags, like the video, comment, and subscribe with all notifications on.
And don't forget to tune in next Monday for Around the Metaverse. We out.